And then you get Cole Caulfield, who hadn't scored in 5 games. You know how goal scorers are. They're streaky.
Yeah.
Like, you get one, now you feel like he could get momentum again because you could tell he was gripping the stick real hard.
Yeah, but at least now it feels like it's coming to life a little bit for him. He's getting some chances, and so far in the playoffs, it feels like for Caufield, he is not getting to the slot area or around the goal mouth, and that's big for him. And if you think of it, with the shots that he takes...
Something unbelievable just happened in Montreal. The same Cole Caulfield that fans were criticizing only days ago suddenly exploded in one of the biggest playoff moments of the season. People were calling him invisible, saying he disappeared when the Canadiens needed him most. It became very difficult for the young Montreal star. He was not scoring, he was missing chances. And little by little, fans started to panic. Social media became very loud after Montreal struggled early in the series against Buffalo. Some fans were saying Caufield was disappearing in big playoff moments. Others were asking if playoff hockey was becoming too physical for him. Hockey analysts started talking about his confidence. Every missed shot created even more pressure. For a player like Cole Caulfield, expectations in Montreal are massive. Canadiens fans do not just want good performances. They want stars. They want heroes. And because Caulfield is one of the faces of the franchise, everybody was watching him closely. But while the outside world was getting louder, one person never stopped believing in him, Canadiens captain Nick Suzuki. Suzuki continued supporting Caulfield publicly and on the ice. The chemistry between the two young stars has become one of the biggest reasons Montreal fans believe this team has a bright future. Even during the scoring drought, Suzuki kept feeding Caulfield the puck and trusted him during important moments. That trust would soon change everything. Going into Game 3 against the Buffalo Sabres, the pressure on Montreal was enormous. The Canadiens needed energy. They needed offense. And most importantly, they needed one of their stars to finally step up. Then came the moment that changed the entire night. As Montreal started building momentum offensively, the crowd inside the Bell Center could feel something coming. The Canadiens were attacking harder, skating faster, and forcing Buffalo into mistakes. Then suddenly, the puck found Cole Caulfield. And this time, he did not miss. The arena exploded instantly. The Canadiens kept attacking again and again. Every big hit from Montreal made the crowd louder. Every save brought more emotion into the arena. But the biggest change was happening inside the mind of Cole Caulfield himself. For days, people had questioned him. Fans were wondering if he could handle playoff pressure. Critics talked about his size and whether he could survive tough postseason hockey. Some even started comparing his struggles to other young stars who disappeared during important playoff moments. But in one single night, Caulfield answered everybody. And he did it in the biggest way possible. The moment he scored, his confidence looked completely different. He started skating harder. He played with more freedom. His teammates kept looking for him offensively because they could feel his energy coming back. Buffalo defenders suddenly had to pay much closer attention to him every time he touched the puck. That is what makes dangerous scorers so special in the NHL. One goal can change everything. And now, Canadiens fans believe Caulfield may be heating up at the perfect time for Montreal's playoff run. What made the moment even bigger was the reaction from the fans inside Bell Center. The crowd treated Caulfield's goal like a championship moment. People were screaming, waving towels, and celebrating like the pressure of the entire season had finally exploded out of the building. Social media also went crazy after the game ended. Fans started posting messages like, "Cole Caulfield is back." The floodgates are officially open. Instead of questioning Caulfield, they started talking about how dangerous Montreal could become if their young sniper gets hot during the playoffs. And honestly, they may be right. Because this Canadiens team is already full of young talent. Nick Suzuki continues leading the team like a true captain. The chemistry between Suzuki and Caulfield keeps getting stronger every game. The team is skating with confidence. That is exactly why the rest of the NHL should be paying attention right now. Montreal suddenly looks dangerous again. And for Buffalo, this loss may become a nightmare they never forget. They had a chance to keep Caulfield quiet. Instead, they may have helped wake him up completely. Sometimes in hockey, one goal becomes bigger than the scoreboard. Sometimes one moment changes an entire series. And right now, Canadiens fans are starting to believe they just witnessed that exact moment with Cole Caulfield. Because if this really is the beginning of his playoff breakout, then the rest of the NHL could have a massive problem on their hands very soon.
They announced the nominees for the Ted Lindsay Award, and your nominees are Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks. You can see the numbers there for Celebrini. What a year that young man had. Almost pushed the Sharks into the playoffs. Nikita Kucherov, he is a two-time Ted Lindsay Award winner, and he is nominated once again. And then, of course, Connor McDavid, a four-time Lindsay Award winner.
Something inside the NHL just flipped overnight, and fans did not see it coming. A list was released, but one name on it changed everything. Two of the biggest stars in hockey were expected. The third name shocked players across the league. This was not a media vote. This came from the players themselves, and what they decided is now raising serious attention across the sport. The announcement came from the Ted Lindsay Award, one of the most respected honors in hockey. This award is not chosen by reporters or analysts. It is voted by NHL players. These are the same players who compete on the ice every game. Their vote reflects direct experience against opponents during the season. The finalists were officially confirmed as Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov, and Macklin Celebrini. This list was reported by Reuters as a star-studded trio. The first two names followed expected patterns based on performance. The third name changed the discussion immediately. Connor McDavid's selection came after another strong season. He remained one of the top point producers in the league. His role in the Edmonton Oilers offense continued to be central. He led plays, controlled puck movement, and contributed heavily to scoring chances. McDavid has already won this award multiple times in past seasons. His inclusion matched his consistent performance record. Nikita Kucherov also secured his place based on measurable output. He ranked among the top scorers during the season. His performance included goals and assists across multiple game situations. He contributed strongly on the power play and during even strength play. Kucherov's presence on the list reflected his steady offensive production. The focus quickly shifted to the third finalist. Macklin Celebrini's inclusion introduced a different type of player into the same category. He is at an early stage in his NHL career. Despite that, his performance this season placed him in direct comparison with experienced players. His ice time, scoring contribution, and consistency across games supported his position among finalists. The reaction to this finalist list focused on how the voting reflects direct competition. Players face each other across a full season. They track speed, control, and decision-making in real time. This makes the Ted Lindsay Award different from awards decided by media members. The selection shows which players stand out during actual gameplay situations, and that distinction remains central after the announcement. Connor McDavid's performance continued to follow a consistent pattern. He remained among league leaders in assists and total points. His ability to control puck movement and create scoring opportunities stayed constant across games. His ice time remained high, and he played a central role in offensive sequences for the Edmonton Oilers. These measurable factors supported his position among finalists without deviation. Nikita Kucherov's season also aligned with statistical output. He maintained a high scoring rate and contributed across multiple game situations. His role in Tampa Bay's offense remained stable. He produced both goals and assists while maintaining efficiency during power play opportunities. His inclusion reflected sustained production across the regular season, and his numbers remain among the top in the league. Macklin Celebrini's placement introduced a different set of data points. His performance came during the early stage of his NHL career. Despite limited experience compared to the other finalists, his contributions remained consistent across games. He recorded scoring plays and maintained regular ice time against experienced opponents. This placed him in direct comparison with players who have longer careers and larger statistical records. The difference between experience levels became more visible after the announcement. McDavid and Kucherov have multiple full seasons of high-level performance. Celebrini's inclusion reflects performance within a shorter time frame. This contrast created a measurable gap in total games played, career points, and overall experience, but the voting process placed all three names in the same category. The voting method used by players places emphasis on direct impact during games. This includes puck control, offensive pressure, and the ability to influence play outcomes. Players base their decisions on real matchups rather than external analysis. This approach explains why performance during specific games can carry weight in the final selection. Reuters reporting confirmed that the finalists were selected through standard NHL Players Association voting. The report described the group as a star-studded trio, highlighting both established players and emerging talent. No irregularities or changes in voting criteria were reported. The process remained consistent with previous seasons. The timeline for the final result has not yet been released. The winner will be announced following the completion of the voting process. Until that point, the finalist list continues to draw attention due to the contrast in player experience and performance levels, and that focus has not slowed down.
Here's William Nylander from today on what he has seen this year and maybe what he thinks has possibly gone wrong with the Leafs.
You look back at it and go, you kind of wish the team had done something different, like it was played different, or I don't know. When you look back at it, do you see the mistakes that as they piled up, kind of?
I mean, I have like my thoughts about maybe some stuff, but I mean that's something I'm going to keep to myself.
Okay. So, yeah, Willie's not going to reveal it, not surprisingly, and I don't think he shouldn't just sit there and start throwing daggers.
Silence can be louder than anything, and William Nylander just proved it in a way no one expected. After a season full of pressure and criticism, he faced the media, and instead of explaining, he gave one cold sentence that instantly spread across the NHL. No details, no emotion, just silence. And now, that silence is raising questions no one can answer. Yet, the moment happened quickly, but it changed the entire conversation around the Toronto Maple Leafs. Reporters asked William Nylander a direct question about the season. It was a normal question. Players are asked this all the time, especially after a difficult stretch. Most players respond with simple answers. They talk about effort, mistakes, or what needs to improve. Nylander did not do that. He paused, stayed calm, and gave a short answer. He said, "Something I'm going to keep to myself." That was the full response. He did not add anything else. He did not explain what he meant. He did not go into details about the team or the season. The interview moved on, but the moment did not. This response quickly became a major talking point across hockey media. According to Sportsnet, Nylander chose not to explain where the season went wrong. The report confirmed that he declined to share his thoughts publicly when asked directly. That choice stood out immediately. Players usually give structured answers in these situations. They often say the team needs to be better or that small mistakes made a big difference. These answers are common. They are expected. Nylander's response did not follow that pattern. It was short, it was controlled, and it gave nothing away. Another report from Toronto Sun also highlighted this moment. The article explained that Nylander clearly has opinions about the season, but decided not to share them. The focus was not on what he said, but on what he chose not to say. That made the moment different. The Maple Leafs have been under heavy pressure. Expectations were high throughout the season. Media coverage has been constant. Players have faced repeated questions about performance, effort, and results. Nylander has been part of that environment. His response came during that pressure. It did not include frustration or anger. His tone stayed neutral, his words stayed limited. But the message was still clear. He was not going to explain his thoughts. That decision created a strong reaction. The reaction to that moment grew quickly, and the focus shifted from the team's performance to Nylander's response itself. Media coverage continued to highlight the same quote. The sentence, "Something I'm going to keep to myself," was repeated across broadcasts and articles. It became the main reference point in discussions about the Toronto Maple Leafs. This level of attention did not come from length or detail. It came from what was missing. According to Sportsnet, Nylander has often handled media in a controlled and private way. He does not regularly share deep internal thoughts in interviews. That pattern helps explain the response, but it does not fully remove the impact of the moment because the situation was different. The question was about a full season. It came during a period when the team was under strong public evaluation. In these moments, players are expected to give insight, even if it is limited. Nylander chose not to provide that insight. That choice became the story. Coverage from Toronto Sun emphasized that Nylander had thoughts on the season but decided not to reveal them. The article did not include any further explanation from him. The original quote remained the only direct comment. No follow-up changed that. Nylander did not expand on his answer in later interviews. He did not clarify what he meant. The single sentence remained unchanged. That consistency kept the focus on the original moment. The absence of detail continued to drive attention. In most interviews, players respond with repeated phrases. They talk about improving, learning, or moving forward. These responses create a predictable pattern. Nylander's response did not fit that pattern. It stood apart because it avoided those phrases completely. That difference increased its visibility. The quote continued to appear in headlines and discussions. Analysts referenced it when talking about the team. The response became part of a larger conversation about media interaction and player communication. But the content of the response never changed. It stayed as one sentence, delivered once with no addition. That is what kept the moment active in coverage. A single answer, without detail, without expansion, and without revision, remained at the center of attention, and even as the discussion grew, the original message stayed exactly the same. Connor McDavid just hit a number that changes how the NHL looks at him forever. One goal made history, but what happened seconds later shocked everyone watching. The crowd reacted, the bench stood up, and the league took notice. This was not just another milestone. Something bigger was unfolding on the ice, and the full impact was only starting to become clear. Connor McDavid entered the game already, leading as one of the top scorers in the NHL. During the second period, he received the puck in open space and completed a scoring play that marked his 400th career goal. Official NHL records confirm that reaching 400 goals places a player into a rare group. Fewer than 100 players in league history have reached this number, and the pace at which McDavid achieved it drew immediate attention. The goal came during even strength play. There was no power play advantage. Game reports confirm that the Oilers were controlling possession during that shift. McDavid moved through the neutral zone, with speed entered the offensive zone, and finished the play with a clean shot past the goaltender. The moment was quickly confirmed by league tracking systems, and the broadcast displayed the milestone as it happened, but the sequence did not stop there. Shortly after scoring his 400th goal, McDavid scored again. This second goal became number 401. It happened in the same game within a short span of time. Reuters reported Connor McDavid hit the 400-goal milestone and added another as the Oilers secured the win. That update confirmed both goals as part of a single performance, and it shifted the focus from just the milestone to the speed at which he moved beyond it. The Oilers continued to apply offensive pressure after the goals. McDavid remained active in play, contributing to multiple scoring chances. Game summaries show that he recorded more than just goals, as he remained involved in puck movement and offensive setups. His presence on the ice continued to affect the pace of the game, and opposing defenders were forced to adjust their positioning. Career data shows that McDavid has reached every major scoring milestone at a fast rate. Since entering the NHL in 2015, he has consistently produced high numbers each season. He reached 100 goals, then 200, and then 300 in fewer games than many players in the modern era. The 400 goal mark follows the same pattern, and that consistency has been tracked across official league statistics, but this latest moment added a new level to the discussion. McDavid's current total places him among the top active goal scorers in the NHL. Updated league data shows that his scoring rate remains steady across seasons. He has not shown long scoring gaps, and game logs confirm consistent production year after year. This pattern has been a key factor in how quickly he reached 400 goals, and it continues to shape how teams prepare to face him. The Oilers system relies heavily on speed and puck control. McDavid plays a central role in that structure. In the milestone game, his goals follow the same pattern seen throughout his career. He carried the puck through the neutral zone, created space, and finished plays under pressure. Shot data from the game confirms that both goals came from high probability scoring areas, which reflects his ability to position himself effectively during offensive plays. Defensive matchups against McDavid often involve top defensive pairings. Opposing teams attempt to limit his time with the puck by closing gaps early and applying pressure in the neutral zone. Despite these efforts, recent game reports show that he continues to generate scoring chances at a high rate. His speed allows him to move past defenders quickly, and this factor was visible again during the milestone performance. Statistical comparisons place McDavid among the fastest players to reach 400 goals in the salary cap era. Historical data shows that many players who reach this mark go on to surpass 500 goals. Based on current scoring trends and age-related performance models, projections indicate that he remains on pace for higher milestones if production continues at the same level, and that projection has been included in multiple reports following the game. The timing of the milestone also aligns with the later stage of the regular season. Teams are competing for playoff positions, and performance during this period carries added importance. Game results show that the Oilers secured a win during the milestone match, linking individual achievement with team success. This connection has been noted in post-game coverage, as McDavid's scoring directly contributed to the outcome. Broadcast footage confirmed the exact moments of both goals. Commentators acknowledged the milestone in real time, and replays were shown across multiple angles. The sequence of goal number 400, followed quickly by 401, remained a central focus in coverage. This rapid progression changed how the event was viewed, shifting it from a single milestone to a broader performance moment that